Golly, it is such a nice day out here. Whew. This is a perfect day to get some work done, and I got box here of parts and box here of parts for this rolling thing of parts. Today we are finally upgrading the Fox Body's cooling system. Finally, all of the stuff is together, so I can finally get this cooling problem fixed on the Fox Body that I was not planning to do right away, but the electric fan crapped out on me, and I don't know, I just kind of found it, I didn't think it was going to be a good idea just to replace the fan and not just replace the radiator and everything while I was in there. So, got parts. I'm gonna go ahead and unbox everything here, show you what I got, and then we can start putting it in. Well, I guess we gotta take stuff out first, and then we can put it in. Okay, I think I'm gonna start with the smaller box here, because then I'll work my way to the bigger box. So, first and foremost, the whole reason why this all needed to be done was because the electric fan went out. So now we have a nice new electric fan from Summit. This is a, just a standard 16-inch push-pull fan. Yeah, so I think this flows about, I think, just over 2,000 cubic feet per minute of air, which I think is going to be plenty for this little engine even when boosted. So this is definitely more than strong enough of a fan to get the job done, I do believe. If not, we're going to find out. And then with that, we have these beautiful, well, I don't know about beautiful, but they are pretty dang nice if I do say so myself, billet aluminum radiator brackets to mount that fan to the beautiful aluminum radiator. So there's those. With that, then we have one of the final pieces to all of this. Now, the micro squirt, I'm pretty sure it can control a fan. I'm almost positive it does have a setting for it. I just really did not feel like wiring all of it and changing everything, because I spent a lot of time getting things just right on that. So I instead ordered this. This is one of your very simple thermoresistor based type setups using a relay. So put this bad boy right in the fins of the radiator or whatever, and just do the wiring. It gets to a certain point, flips the fan on through the relay here. Super simple to wire in. Everything's ready to roll. I'm just gonna add a little bit of heat shrink here and there, and yeah, that will be done. So that's all out of the way. Now let's look at the pretty radiator. The big upgrade here is this wonderfully not super heavy, that's exaggerating, aluminum radiator. So this is an non-branded aluminum radiator. I think it's literally the same as like a SR Performance or SVE actually radiator. I got this actually at Carlisle this past season, so this was a really awesome find for me. And I got a really good deal on it. I paid a little less than what you would online, so of course if I can get something the same day and less than online prices, it's a good deal. All right, so I am super happy about this. I don't care that it doesn't say anyone's name on it. It just seems like a decently built aluminum radiator that's going to work well for the Fox Body. And none of this broke the bank. All in all, I think total I have, let's see, about $250 in all of this, which really isn't bad considering that some radiators cost that by themselves. So how about that for being thrifty? So before I actually even get to the point of installing this in a car, I want to have it already assembled as a whole unit and put it in fan, radiator, and all in one piece. So that's one thing I like about this whole setup, is the fan and radiator can be moved together. The problem is these brackets, I pieced everything together not exactly knowing what I needed, and these brackets, I think if I would have gotten an 18-inch fan, this would have been fine. But I think these brackets were made for a 16-inch fan for the radius between the mounting holes. The problem is the distance, and I'll show you that right now. On this radiator, you have these mounting parts here that are welded on. So that's great. And the whole idea was to be able to mount the fan to these brackets and these brackets to this piece. Because the fan is only 16 inches, it comes up short up here. So I won't be able to use those existing holes. Now, if I position everything just right, I think I can just use a small portion of this. I have to re-drill my own hole, which is not a big deal on either side. And I think up here as well, and it pretty much gets it about right there, just on the seam. But once I do that, I think they will be close enough to be able to mount the fan where it needs to go, and yeah, it'll be all good to go. So that's the part we need to work on first. Once I have all of this together as a unit, then we can start taking out the old stuff and putting the new stuff in. So let's work on that. Sweet, got one side of the bracket here mounted on and looks pretty good. Just kind of loosely fitted on there. Once I get the other side figured out, then I can permanently, well, more securely attach everything. But good, one down, one to go. Well, here it is, all put together. One piece ready to go in the car. Now the fun part. So now the obvious next step is to get this load of junk out of the car and clean everything up. And that's a spider. And get the new one in. Oh, that sure made a lot of room. Actually, now I can get the old condenser out of here, since I've pretty much did a AC delete. Don't need that anymore. A little more weight reduction too. Clear up the front end here. Yeah, definitely need to be painted though. I might actually have to do that before I reassemble. No, and I think I'm gonna feel real bad about doing all this work. Lots of rust. Well, there it is. Both the old radiator, AC condensers out. It's actually a lot easier than I thought on this car, because they just kind of, both of them just sit in like things on the bottom. I don't know. I haven't done this in ever, so I don't really remember, but yeah, super easy. Oh, but with that said, I was really going to make this a, single video, but I ran into some things where I'm gonna have to stop this anyway, so I might as well just make a two-part video out of it. One thing is the brackets here, mounts for the radiator. These are just nasty, so I need to order a set of those. Not to mention that I really do not want to put a nice aluminum radiator back in here with all this rust and stuff, so I need to get this cleaned up and just some simple Rust-Oleum paint job just to get this looking a little bit nicer, keep the rust from spreading. That definitely needs to happen before I continue. And then there's another issue. Factory transmission cooler lines are in rough shape, and this one actually broke trying to get it off. So that's another issue. The problem is that the new radiator doesn't even have ports on it for the transmission cooler. So this was probably for a manual transmission car. Not a big deal, but if I want a transmission cooler, and I definitely do, to keep this little transmission alive and happy as long as possible, I need to get a dedicated transmission cooler now to make that work. So that doesn't have to happen right away, but before the new stuff goes in, paint needs to happen, new brackets need to happen, just a lot of cleaning up needs to happen. So that will be in the part 2 video of this, getting everything cleaned up and put in, and the wiring, of course, for the new thermostat control relay. So hey, but progress is progress. But that will be it for this video. So if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with everyone you know, and if you want to see more content like this, then go ahead, subscribe to the channel, keep a lookout for the next video.